Welcome back to season 2, episode 2 of Straighten Your Crown. Today I'm joined by the beautiful Brittany and Kristy. I think we should probably just jump right in, otherwise it'll just get crazy. So today what we're talking about is something that we kind of touched on a little bit last week, is picking your business partner and what makes a good business partner and how do you pick one.
You hate when they do that to me.
You're in your eyes.
I'm ready. I guess maybe even going off that question, the benefits and disadvantages of having a business partner.
Definitely.
Why to pick one or why not to pick one, or if it's right for you, if it's not right for you.
Shall we throw it over to Brittany first this time, because last time we did Kristy?
I think I can start, but I guess with me, when Kristy approached me, it was kind of a situation of, is this something that I wanted? And you actually sold it to me. So I feel like we can't start with me. I feel like we should start with you because you're the one who convinced me that it was a good idea. AKA, here we are.
Nice field.
Good then.
Okay, so yeah, I think you need to work out whether you want to start a business with someone or whether you just want to go it alone. And then if we sort of go through the advantages, disadvantages, then you can maybe, if you're going to start your own business or thinking about it, then make some informed decisions about what that might look like. So Sam and I have started a whole heap of businesses over our lifetime together. Here's some examples as to where we were coming from. But with the law firm, so I had my own law firm for a really long time, and I was approached during those years as to whether I wanted to partner with anyone else. And at the time I said, I'm a lot further ahead than where they were, because I've been doing it for years, and I felt that I'd probably be going backward if I were to merge with someone at that point when I was approached to do that. But in saying that, and I'm still really good friends with this guy now, and he ended up partnering with someone else, and the two of those guys together, I'm able to watch them, build and grow their business to such a huge extent. And the reason for that is, when guy one goes on holidays, business doesn't fall over. You don't need to have, it doesn't all fall down and fall apart because you had holidays for a week or a month, whatever it is. But these two guys actually ended up, their wives are also in partnership. Well, not in partnership, but the two guys have the business together and their wives also work in the business. So you
kind of like us.
Exactly like us with Empress Athleticus, where you end up with 4 people in the business that are actually able to build and grow it, even though 2 of them are as directors. So, I've watched things like that occur over time, and then Sam and I have had different businesses with different partners and so forth over time as well. So depends what you want, but definitely in having a partner, you're able to use everybody's strengths, and where I might have a weakness, you've got a strength, and vice versa. And then even with Sam and James being part of the business as well, even though they're not the directors and just the two of us are, they still have such strengths to help grow Empress Athleticus to the point where it was really easy, where we've all got different backgrounds. James has got a huge background and knowledge in, suppliers and dispatch and distribution, and, Sam's got an engineering and finance background. So, things like...
Plus, he's just really, really handy.
Sam is how can, we need this, and he's like, I've got it. I've got this perfect. Look at this thing that I had in my cupboard. It's perfect.
When we had the initial things with how we're going to put logos on our garments. That was something that would have been super stressful for me, but Sam's like, oh, okay, well, let's try this, let's try that, let's try this. And because he's got that kind of engineering brain, it was so much less stressful to just be like, come up with a solution, please. Help.
Him and James together, because James knows how to build those Shopify stores and, how to load on all the products and all of those kind of things. And, Sam's got that finance background where he knows how to make everything finance, talk to everything and, set up all of those accounts correctly and, I don't know, all of that stuff that they do.
All the stuff that we don't have to worry about then.
Yeah. Correct, yeah.
Which is really, really nice.
And then I was obviously able to set up, I suppose, our customer service base and set up all of our legals and so forth. You were able to do all of our marketing and, strategize all of that. And whilst we all work together, there are still points where we're kind of off focusing on our own thing.
And we know they've got it.
Yeah.
We know they've
that's
got
right.
it sorted.
And for me, it was really important that the business was legally set up and structurally set up sound in the first instance.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, obviously everybody doesn't partner with a lawyer or an accountant or those kind of things, but, you know, yeah, you've got to work out what's really important as well, because I know that was really important to you, that, you know, that it was structured properly and that we were fair and even, and, that everything was built with a really good base from the ground up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think it's a great idea. If this is what you want, to have a business partner, you've just got to make sure it's the right
Exactly.
business partner.
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to
And then-
say.
so
and I
then-
think, sorry, just
No,
cutting
no,
you off,
honestly,
Maddie.
no, no, go.
Sorry.
Let the talent talk. It's fine. Go nuts.
I think the biggest thing is I would never suggest going into business with your best mate.
Excuse you.
Sorry, love ya. But it's a situation of, because normally, unless, okay, I'm gonna have some pros.
Yeah, exactly. Backpedal. That's it. I didn't want to work with you either.
I think that's probably the same as like not having your best mate work for you as well.
Excuse you.
Why do you do that?
You can do it. You can definitely do it. There
but-
just have to be boundaries around it.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's got to be
absolutely.
boundaries around it for sure.
Yeah.
So with, you know, suggesting, you know, probably not a great idea to go into business with your best friend is a simple fact as you want to make sure that what you're bringing is completely opposite to what they're bringing. Because if I went into business, okay, say if I didn't meet Kristy and I went into business with someone who also was really, really good at marketing. Now I've got two people who are really, really good at marketing.
And nobody
we're both wanting to do exactly the same things.
You just got clones of yourself.
Exactly.
You don't want clones of yourself. You want
No.
the exact opposite.
Because what was so good about our dynamic that we had is that we were able to launch so quickly, because I was like, okay, I'm doing this, what are you doing? And they go, oh, we'll do
doing
this. And we all just spread out and got everything done so quick. Where if you had two people with the same kind of brains thinking the same kind of way, then you're only going to be doing one area really, really good, and then everything else isn't going to be set up as
And you've
good.
kind of only got one perspective as
Exactly,
well,
yeah.
where if you see things the same way, so
Yeah.
you're not getting those, you know, 3 or 4 or 2 or whatever it is, different perspectives of how the business might look and
Yeah.
how it might run.
I think the best thing about going into business with you and Sam, though, well, you, and we get
Still.
Sam as
Yeah, and James.
a constellation prize.
Consolation prize.
Sam,
No,
don't
sorry,
Is that we have, me and James obviously young in business, and you know, we don't have much in regards to assets or anything like that. So we had so many questions in regards to, okay, what do you do with this then? Or if we want to be here, what do we do here? Or what do we do that? And Kristy and Sam are just like a wealth of knowledge that like we would go
Easy.
over there.
Done that. This is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we did. Oh, this is what we did. And there's like so many different ideas and like things that we would never have thought about before. Like it was just so cool having complete opposites working together. And that's why we've decided, okay, well, we've enjoyed this so much, let's set up another business and another business.
And don't trivialize
continue.
you guys being so young either, because
Yeah.
you guys being
It's
so
a
young
fresh
brings a
perspective.
complete fresh dynamic to what it is that we would think, or you know, there's new things and innovations and stuff that we may not have thought about.
yeah.
So it's kind of
Remember you being like, so how does Instagram work?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Why starting there? Okay.
post on this thing. What's a TikTok?
Because like even with your businesses, like that's not really how you made your cash. Like you didn't make it in a social sense. So
Yeah.
you have a presence in regards to who you are as Kristy Perdrio, but it wasn't in regards to a social media following.
No, absolutely.
So it's
not.
like very
not as a
different.
public figure or anything.
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So it's like really cool to kind of share our experiences and our knowledge to then obviously make a whole new thing from all of that information.
and she still makes me post stuff.
I do.
Have to. Yeah. They've got a schedule. They've got a layout. You know, you need to stick to it.
We're very busy.
But okay, so then when you're saying that you think going into business with somebody that has like a different, like if you're using your left side, then you want somebody using their right side. What, like, I feel like that is good, but then you also have to have key things that you guys are the same as, which would obviously be like values, what you're passionate about. Obviously, you guys are both really passionate about supporting women, and big one for Empress Athleticus is manufacturing in Australia, that sort of thing, keeping it, body positivity, all of those things. So would you say that when you're if you're looking for somebody to partner with, or if somebody approaches you, what would be some of the things that you would need to look out for?
You
need to see whether your mission, vision, values align and work out what they are. And I think we learnt that so quickly. You know, we had we organised a lunch together where we're both sort of, we show up and we're a bit sceptical of each other.
She rocks up in her Audi with her plates, and I'm like, okay, I'll just park next to my Golf.
But yeah, those, so we had lunch together, and I think it was kind of like with all of us, it was almost like word vomit, where we had so much that we wanted to say, and the reason we had so much that we wanted to say to each other is that it was in such alignment. It's like you'd say something, it's like, that's us too, I've thought up this same thing, and it was
even our notes that we brought were so
the
similar.
same thing.
And we were so passionate about all the things that were just very like.
So it was just kind of like building on each idea that somebody was throwing out, and you're like building on that. Okay, so that then we also want to do this, and then somebody else is going, yes, I want to do that, and so
I think the biggest thing is understanding what your why is, and we talked about this in a bad advice episode. Explaining your why you get into business.
Probably
and
bad advice in that.
It is bad advice. Yeah. Bad advice, love that.
This is the good advice? Is this what we're saying?
I wouldn't.
Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe straighten your crown should be good advice as opposed to...
So we're a bit more serious over here. We're not in pajamas and eating snacks like bad advice. We love that.
Yeah.
No buenos for you, babe.
No buenos. Well, happy
hippos.
So the biggest thing was understanding our why. And like I said, we broke some bad advice. And you have to make sure that your why isn't related to money. So the reason you're doing this is not to make money. Like, obviously you need to make money to continue.
But it can't be the sole purpose or reason.
Your only reason is not just, I need to make money and that is it. Because every single time you make a decision, you're going to be making it for money.
I need to make money. I need to make money now.
So when we brought up our whys, okay, well, why do you even want to start a business? Don't matter what it is. Why do you want to start one? Our whys were the same. And that's what's very, very important. So having a business partner, yes, left side, right side, all that jazz, but making sure that you align with those things, because when you make business decisions, you have to be on the same page. And you say this all the time, every time I have a meeting, you're like, oh, you are on my page. And you say it all the time. And I'm like, we're always on the same page because we're playing for the same reason, And that's really, really important.
Can I ask what your why is?
Money. No.
I'm hungry, bro.
Money so we can buy chocolate.
Okay, yes. Well, we got to pay for all your bloody cakes, Kristy.
That's right. You've got cakes coming out of it.
No, exactly the opposite of that. So exactly the opposite.
No cake.
We want kale chips and our Buddha bowls. Thank you so much.
So obviously my big ones are supporting women, making jobs, breaking the pay gap in regards to male and female.
Complete equality.
Complete equality with everything for women. Making jobs for working mums. In regards to Empress Athleticus, we've created more jobs by bringing manufacturing here to Australia. Like, bringing manufacturing in general is really, really difficult, and we can go over this in another conversation for Australian.
That we will.
Yeah, for Australian manufacturing is a massive issue.
And just bringing that trade back as well.
But it was mainly just bringing jobs, and however we could bring those jobs, that was one way we could. Okay, cool. That's an easy way we could kind of get some more women and get them some jobs going through. And
being flexible with those women as well, where if they do have children and they want to work school hours and all of those kind of things, I think there's so many businesses that don't cater.
Or it's really difficult to cater for that.
But it's really not.
It's
really
easy
not
as a
difficult.
business
It's
owner.
just, that's
oh my
right.
God.
You just need to be flexible. Like the focus needs to be on your employees and your customers rather than the focus being on yourself and money, which is what you see a lot of businesses are based around. I think that's why we're very different.
And the other one is creating a culture. So culture in regards to our employees, but also a culture in regards to our audience. So
or just our brand generally.
And that's like one big thing that I really love. I love my Instagram family and Facebook family and TikTok family, and now we've got a book club and like.
Please join book club. It's called not the book club. Book club.
What we enjoy doing, And Kristy's big thing. You used to be in the Navy.
Air Force. You were so close, babe. There's only 3. Did you not listen to Straighten the Crown 2 weeks ago?
And that was one of the reasons that you got into the Air Force, is because you wanted to be a part of a team.
Yeah, part of a team and a culture where you could build and grow something that was really cool together. Yeah.
So the why was like so much alike. So then everything else was just so much easier to slot in place. Yeah. And that's even true how we said, we've started Empress Athleticus, and now we're like, okay, well, we could start another one. But the why is going to be the same. Exactly. It's just going to be doing different things and doing it different ways. Yep. And it's just so cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to add any of your whys to that one, Kristy, or are they pretty much the same?
Pretty much exactly the same. Yeah. I think that, like we said when we first met, it was like, for me, I love building and growing businesses. I love doing that, but I love doing it for everybody that's in the business and for the customer base that's there. Like, I don't know, like I'm so keen to create a creative business where, I can be creative in that, but where people, love our product.
I definitely think that people already know that about you, Kristy, because when we have our Facebook groups, our Empress Queendom and our Empress fan page, every time somebody's posting a photo saying, oh my God, I feel so great, you're like one of the first people, if not the first person, every time. And if they've got an issue, you're always there and you're trying to make sure that they are feeling supported, heard, listened to, all of those things. And it really does show that you're not actually just in it for the money.
Like, literally, she gets in there so quick, and then she screenshots and sends it to me and Madi, like, we need to do this, we need to help this girl, what is happening here? And I'm like, oh, you're so asking. And you're like, we're doing pockets now because this lady asked for this, so if we can get on to that.
There's heaps of people that ask for them.
I've got a spreadsheet going, we've got X, Y, Z, Z.
And it does actually show through you're actually doing it. You're actually doing it. You're not just saying it to get the money. You're not just saying it,
Well, it goes to show, like, our why is not money, and a lot of people understand that. And even too, when we asked to looking out for brand ambassadors, and we're like, the reason we want you guys to come to us versus we go to them is because we wanted people who were also passionate about why we do this, versus just being like, oh, I wouldn't mind making some extra money.
I'm pretty and I'm an influencer. Give me more money. And you're like, but is it really the same values and that sort of thing, which is very, very, very cool. So then probably the next thing that would kind of lead on to that is how it will affect the business going forward. So obviously if you were doing it yourself, there would be a lot of sacrifices that you guys would need to make. Am I right in saying that? And together you guys can kind of ease that sacrifice and kind of share.
I will actually give a perfect example for this one. Is we went to Tasmania a couple of weeks ago. That is the first time I have had a holiday in 7 years where I wasn't stressed, because I knew Kristy and Sam had it sorted. That was amazing.
And we had nothing happen in that like there wasn't any lockdown.
Oh no lockdown. Absolutely not. No, I think you guys had the best week ever, didn't you? Tell us about that.
That is a really good example.
It was really nice to know that if I needed a time off, or even when I got sick, I didn't have to. I was locked to keyboards in previous jobs. Never had time off. And I remember I wanted to have one day off.
Working on your honeymoon.
I was working on my honeymoon. Yeah, when I got married. But I wanted to go away for one day for a long weekend, and I was explaining to my staff what needs to happen. And I remember one of my staff members saying to me, B, are you only going away for one day? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, you're acting like you're going away for 2 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, because I know everything will fall apart if I leave for one day. But like in previous situations, like it was very, very dependent on me being there 24/7, 7 days a week. And I didn't want to do that again. And when Kristy originally approached me, I was apprehensive about getting into business with someone. But the fact of she sold it to me in regards to, we're going to share responsibility. Everything is 50-50. If you need a break, I'll be here. If I need a break, you'll be here. Like, it's very and I think when we went away, it just like really put that into reality for me. Because obviously you're like, oh, I guess. And then you're actually doing like, oh yeah, cool. And even when I got sick, when I got, what'd I get? Bronchitis. Bronchitis. People were like, why are you working? Stop working. I'm like, yeah, but I'm used to working when I'm sick. We're like, no, we're not doing that. You don't do that anymore. Like, you're not, and it's like, she's had to re-teach me in regards to what's normal.
I think I'm still retraining you. On that.
She needs to take the course, you know. Can we send her off for like a 6-weeker or something?
I'll like randomly send her something on the weekend. It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know this can wait
Why
till
are you
Monday.
editing this now?
Yeah, so it is really, really beneficial for me. I love the fact that we're in a partnership.
Yeah.
I think if you are wanting to have it as an option, definitely run the pros and cons and
Yeah.
find the right person that's going to align with your why.
Yeah. Well, I think that just about sums it up, doesn't it?
Look at us! Episode 2 was so much better, guys. Less children, less animals. We're doing great.
Episode 1 was rubbish, so I'm glad you're still here with us at 2.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, host.
I love hosting.
All right, see you guys.